Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Ronin. And I would like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Live from Sparkwood and 21. This series chronicles the cult classic television series from the 90s, Twin Peaks, its sequel season, The Return, which appeared on Showtime in 2017, and the films of David Lynch. Joining me on this odyssey are the superfans. Last Call Troy Pacelli.
Hello there.
His much better half, Netters Network.
Good evening. I don't have a voice, so sorry.
But she is here.
I
She
am
is
here.
And the president of the Flappy Fan Club, Aged Boomer.
At once a voice arose among the bleak twigs overhead in a full-hearted evening song of joy illimited. An aged thrush, frail, gaunt, and small, in blast-bereft plume, had chosen thus to fling his soul upon the glowing gloom. That's from,
I prefer the full
Amen.
flower of spring.
the full flower spring. That's from the Darkling Thrush by Thomas Hardy, smart guy. I thought it was appropriate because isn't Flappy a thrush?
I prefer the poems of Orville.
I'm just
I
saying.
like that poem. That was
Yeah,
a
no,
nice
no, no.
poem.
That was good. I'm
This
just
is a
messing
verse
with
from
you.
the poem. It's not bad. Not bad. Thomas Hardy, important writer, right?
All right. I do want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here in the live chat. Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Cleary. All right. Calling now for high sweets. To President Clinton, Mark Markoff. Share, subscribe, and become a member. Like channel member, PRPA1. Good sir. Friend of the channel, Andrea Black. All right. Thank you to Ruby Hoove for gifting a membership over on Netter's channel. Who was the lucky winner?
There'll be Brain Bender's Banter. Brain Bender's Banter,
Cool.
which is
I don't know.
a mouthful.
Hello to Daniel Barry's Sports Highlights. Thank you, Nate, for the $2 super sticker. And
He
saying
says
to
feel better in that here. Yeah.
Thank you, sweetie. Yes, you all know we're going to MegaCon next week. So I think all this is just stress because I've been trying to make sure I've had all the tickets printed. I've got my packing list together and all that. Now that I made sure I have all my tickets together, I think I'll be okay.
Well,
Here's hoping.
and Mark says, shared some awesome photos from today on Cosme. Enjoy. It's lucky to see these. Okay. All right.
Oh,
so-
you were on the Orville? I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Because that's the first picture I see when I look.
All right. So this is episode 3, Zen, or the skill to catch a killer. And let's just say we see some of Cooper's more unorthodox investigation skills.
When you get to the premise that we have been focusing on, once you get to season 3, we all live inside of a dream. His methods don't seem quite so eccentric. I mean, from the perspective of somebody in the there and then, maybe, but in retrospect, you start going, that's kind of how you deal with dream logic, is something like that. So I kind of get it, you know?
Right.
Just my thoughts. Yeah.
And I just want to remind everybody to do all the clicky things.
Mhm.
Because we got a couple of y'all here, but I'm not seeing the thumbs up. So please do the clicky things and show the love.
Please do. Thought we all lived in a yellow submarine. Or a glass submarine, as the case may be.
Yes.
As we saw on Doctor Who the other night. All right.
Oh.
Well, I say let's not waste any time. Let's get down to it.
Yeah.
Everybody, please follow us on over to Cosme. The link should be at the top of the chat as you watch episode 3.
You want me to count us down?
Okay, I'll do it. 5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Things got so bad for Flappy for a while that he was having to sell his feathers for money. It's not pretty.
Well, I mean, I understand that. There have been enough people that have sold blood, so
Yeah,
it's only fair.
I could watch scenes of those blades all day. Look at that, huh?
Yeah. I love the opening of this show. It really is. Between Angelo Badalamenti's music and these just beautiful scenic locales.
Yes, but the green letters remind me of like Frankenstein. But yes, the music is very haunting.
Were they eating roast beef?
Can't tell. In just a moment, they're going to be eating butter and brie on a baguette.
Which Troy's introduced me to, and it's really
It's
good.
actually not bad.
Now, what's his name? Johnny, is it? Is autistic, yes?
Very.
How realistic is the depiction, do you feel, of John?
I would say that people that are on the spectrum are varied, but this is pretty close to the way my brother was.
Sherry!
Oh boy.
That comes off as incredibly creepy in retrospect.
What's that?
The way he's talking to Audrey.
Yes.
Four is pretty intense.
How can anything be better than a sloppy Joe? Come on.
Well, that goes without
I was
saying.
never big on sloppy joes. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. He's liking that.
I mean, let's face it, the bread alone is pretty darn good.
But only if it's a soft bread.
Yeah, I know. You like a soft bread.
Sure, whatever you just said.
Reminds us of Jenny down by the river.
What did Jenny do down by the river?
I have no idea, and I'm not
Apparently,
sure I
she
want
tasted
to
like
know.
butter and brie on a baguette.
Yikes. That's how he leaves the dinner table from his family? Always a pleasure?
That's probably the only time he sees him.
Yeah.
That could be. Yeah, good point.
Those Viking Spanish horns.
And he says Flappy once invested in a personal submarine company, only a couple $100. Didn't want to get in too deep.
Yeah, well, yes, he did.
That is not true, Mark Malnikoff. You take that back.
Their ice cream, Ben and Jerry.
Yeah. You guys are on the memes today.
And hello, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
And also Big Al Presents. Good to see you, sir. Mark Malnikoff says, Flappy's feathers adorn my treble stole.
Yeah.
He says, Flappy once invested in a personal submarine company, only a couple $100. Didn't want to get in too deep.
Yes, I know. Netter mentioned that, yes. How's that fruit punch, James?
Commercial television in 1990, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. I didn't come to lose my shirt. I just came to take it off.
That hair is so 80s. Have a bob over there used to infection out of face.
Dude, wait, look above the pool table. What do you see there?
I missed it.
I think it was a chandelier made out of antlers.
Oh, yeah, very likely. Yes.
Is the rocket a euphemism for something?
Very likely. You can if you want to.
You didn't even tip her.
I'm sure tips included.
So he has to have sloppy seconds.
That's a good one, Tim. Sweep the leg. A little dated, so that makes it a bit of a thinker. Clearly her first time.
She's just a kid, and you can tell she's trying not to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, random blonde girl who we'll never see again.
Right.
It's been happening a lot.
I've always said these characters, they all have a story. You just don't know what it is.
Hmm.
Because I decided it wasn't.
Basically, yes.
Because it's in the script.
Right. Because Mr. Lynch said. Boy,
Donna,
then you kind of lucked out that she died, didn't you?
you know what? James and Donna should go see her pastor about this. And then the pastor says, no, it's very wrong. You should be doing this. And oh, okay. And then he says, so Donna, you're available. I'm kidding. Sorry, it's an honest C3K joke. I'm just
Nate's last meme actually brings up another good point. All of these people in this show suffer from emotional damage.
Boy, he's real proud of that whistle.
I would be too if I carved it myself.
Did they ever say what tribe Hawk belonged to?
I don't think so, but I think they cover it in the
Gonna look it up.
Secret the secret history.
Nez Pierce, they think.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, when you get right down to it, there was only about 2 or 3 tribes in that area that we're aware of. So,
yeah. Aren't those illegal?
aren't what illegal?
Switchblades?
I guess it depends on what state you're in. Washington State, almost certainly everything's illegal. Heck, probably dinner forks are illegal.
Dude, there's nothing creepier than these woods at night.
Honestly, it's less creepy if you don't use a torch. Your eyes get accustomed and you can actually see pretty well.
Good point.
It's thundering really bad. I thought something collapsed
No,
outside.
that was thunder.
That was big thunder.
Big thunder go boom.
It's the Gimp. R.I.P.
Yeah. That's a problem.
New shoes.
New shoes.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was meaning to talk to you about that.
Don't touch him.
Like, did you just touch me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
This is why they said just say no, right?
Right. They said drugs would kill you. They didn't necessarily mean it this way, but still.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so once again, I'm probably reading way too much into this, but I have to wonder. There's a couple of quirks that you see come up over and over again. For her, it's the obsession with the absolutely silent drape runners. Is there something that happened in her past that explains why it's so important that she have silent drape runners? By the same token, what is it with Leo about a clean house? Now, his actually makes a little bit more sense. I could totally see that being a direct response to, like, maybe he got beaten as a kid because he didn't clean his room or something like that.
Like a no more wire hangers sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Invitation to Love.
Whoa, I want to see.
Oh.
Don't worry. Over the course of this show, you actually get a bit of a storyline for that daytime drama. I don't know. After last night, I would be calling her and saying, maybe we need to chill for a bit. See?
Yeah.
He'll kill you both a lot.
And I don't feel like dying today.
Right. If it happens again. It's not enough that it's happened this time, but next time, for sure.
I bet there's something in that fish's mouth on the board that's important that we never found out about, you know?
Possibly.
Like something got stuffed in there. Leo probably put it in there. This screams America. Coming into the local diner,
Right.
asking for a cup of coffee.
Right. Oh, is that hail, Mark? Yeah. Why'd he spit it out then?
Hot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I hate to break this to you, but those donuts are just asking for ants. Okay, I'm just saying.
I mean,
I want a donut. I can't remember last time I had one.
Here we go. This is like Schroeder bringing Beethoven into everything.
yes.
Yeah, that's great, Coop. But what's that have to do with the case?
Right. That's a great point, Mark. If the world is an illusion, what does it matter who rules Tibet? Now we know the role that each one of these characters played, so we should pay attention and see how this plays out, knowing what we know now.
So Jerry's name begins with a J. I'm just saying.
Yeah. which is exactly for the audience.
Yep.
How does he know how far away he's got to be in order to throw the darn rock?
I think I know what Cooper's doing here. This is him trying to channel his gut about what his gut is telling him who it is.
Good point. Good point.
Because there's a scene in the movie Magnum Force where Clint Eastwood is at the firing range and he by accident and he says, "Oh, you would have won the competition, but you shot a police officer." And as you know, Magnum Force, the killers are police officers. You know, spoiler.
Hmm.
So that's what it is. I think that's what he's doing here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Remember, he had a dream he's trying to remember.
Yes.
That was really far off. Okay, why is Hawk got oven mitts?
Not at all. Well, kind of a friend.
Bonk.
It was just my head, nothing important.
I wondered now if that was an accident or that was scripted.
It was scripted because he didn't really get hit. You saw him raise his hand before the stone even flew.
What did Sheriff just ask him?
Did it really come to you in a dream? Yes. Yes, it did. I understand her confusion, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay, so let's get back to it. She was nervous about meeting the Jay that she refers to, we presume, is James Hurley. She was nervous because she was basically calling it off with him. That was her big concern. However, I don't think that the exercise was to determine who the J was. I think it was subconsciously putting him on the track to figuring out what's going on. And honestly, Leo Johnson has way more to do with it than James does.
So this is breakfast after church, I think, right? That's what the
Yes.
I'm sure that's where Audrey was just coming from too, right?
Possibly.
Yeah, you never know. Right. See?
Uh-huh. That's pretty honest of her.
Yeah, because Troy knows taking care of someone with that's handicapped is not easy.
It is not.
Yahir Smith, welcome. Cosme link is at the top of the chat.
Yep. You know, you got to respect someone who likes jazz.
We're going to get the dance.
That's right. Audrey's dance.
Of course, then I picture the little guy from another place because he danced funny.
Well, this kind of dancing to this kind of music specifically gets across exactly why the music's there. It's there for the feeling of it, you know?
And Donna's looking at her like, yeah, weirdo? What
Yeah.
drug are you on?
Ooh.
Albert
Indeed.
and company. Okay, well, shut up so she could let him
Right? Exactly.
Rosenfield's team aren't as nice as he is. The guys behind him.
He's so flippin' rude.
Right? Isn't that the truth?
Ooh.
If you're still here, Ruby, thanks so much for that gifted membership.
Yes.
And for 11 months of membership yourself.
And we have a new person on Boomer's channel.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yasir Smith, good to see you.
Did you catch Lucy reading the book on Tibet?
Yeah.
Well, no, she's fascinated because Cooper.
He doesn't even know how to respond to that. But Cooper liked their response.
Well, Albert could have those thoughts and just not voice them. You don't have to voice it. You know?
Yeah.
You don't have to be nice, but you don't have to be drop dead rude either. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. You're right. I don't. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, that is pretty impressive. Yeah. I think she's overestimating the call for silent draper.
I don't know
Yeah,
if they can get Miss Propeel on late night advertising them.
I'll tell you what, though, that is part of the marketing, right? Once you start talking about how silent they are, people start thinking, yeah, I wouldn't mind my drapery runners being silent.
You'd
I
have
mean,
to
I
have
can
a
see them
commercial
selling
late
now.
night TV.
Yes.
It's like nails on a chalkboard running those runners and you run the drapes in your house, right?
Well, you certainly would have the commercial, exaggerate that aspect.
Oh. Is this when you're gonna sneak a turkey sandwich? Oh.
Yes, Mike.
I mean, it really sucks, though. I mean, that's not a great marriage.
I feel like there's secret compartments in every building in this town.
And I want to find them all.
I'm
Mostly
curious.
double books.
Rooking the guests and cooking the books. Da 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 da.
When it comes to fixing prices. Oh, speaking of musicals.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an oldie but goodie.
Yeah.
Of course, it would have me, if I still had a landline phone, I'd be sitting there going, okay, who's calling? Oh, wait,
Yeah.
that's the record.
Right.
You know?
Gotta dance, gotta dance, gotta dance. Well, your daughter just died. She was murdered, and your husband's losing it.
And you swallowed a bug.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. That's absolutely right.
Some big pillows.
And here we go.
Right.
Walk with me.
Yep. So, without getting too much into the behind the scenes on this, because this is used as a dream, you got to take it as a dream. And it does imply that Cooper is aware of things that he's not consciously aware of.
He's twerking.
Yep. Okay, let's rock.
Mm-hmm.
Wine ringy dingy.
What the heck?
I think I've heard different interpretations on it. Usually it's interpreted as a bird, but I've heard a lot of people suspect that it might be an angel.
Juicy
Which
fruit.
is always nice.
I called it.
The taste is gonna move you. Yeah, is it? Is it?
Sounds lovely.
See, everybody's always dancing. Liar.
His hair's sticking up on one
Yep.
side.
So I don't feel like you can take him at his word that he knew who killed Laura Palmer. I think he's misspeaking. I think what he actually means is that,
He has a strong suspicion on who did it.
yeah.
But he saw who killed her in this dream. It was Bob.
She whispered in his ear who killed her. However, I don't think he remembers in the morning, just like you wouldn't ordinarily with dreams.
I like the credits this episode.
So there you go. There you go. It's that is the next episode. The LSD days, I like that. Don't you hate that? Always waking up before things get fun. Yeah, exactly right. When you think about and I'm you just really can't remove the dream element from this. So you have to apply dream logic. And when you understand dreams, what you don't remember your dreams. There's actually very clear rules by which you do or do not remember your dreams. For instance, if you awaken during REM sleep, you're literally just at that time of dreaming, and you wake up, you usually will remember the dream. If you have a dream in a deeper level of sleep and you wake up, generally you don't remember the dream itself. You only remember the feelings you had as a result of that dream. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I hope that gives some insight into this. The point being that I feel like he made an error. Instead of calling the sheriff, I think he should have picked up his recorder and used it as though it was a dream journal. But too late. Too late.
Which you would think he would, you know?
Exactly right. Well, maybe on the next trip around he will.
Honey, that's like reading a book and expecting the ending to be different each time you read it.
But if, of course, we're referring to time travel. So, I mean, next time around, he may change things or try to.
Mark says dreams are actually very important, especially during REM sleep. I was not dreaming for a bit for my CPAP. I was told that's harmful to your health to disrupt that cycle by a sleep doctor.
Yep, that's absolutely true.
I wake up 4 or 5 times a night with my CPAP.
Ultimately, it's very bad on the heart. It's not a good thing. But let's see. Episode 3, Catch a Killer. Yeah, good point.
Yep.
Good point. But yeah, and just another reminder that David Lynch had not intended for this mystery to be solved. Certainly not within, the span of the first season or two. It was only because of demands by the studio that ultimately he had no choice, which he found to be very frustrating, which we see at the opening of Fire Walk with Me, where the introductory scene is someone smashing a television. And Jamie says, well, this was interesting. It is very interesting. It's meant to be a noodle scratcher. It's not meant to be, all the answers given to you. In fact, I would argue that some of the answers are entirely open to interpretation. And I think that's a good thing. As Lynch himself said, the solution to the mystery isn't the destination. It's the journey that's really important. When the mystery's over, it's all over. So after he was forced by the network to answer who killed Laura Palmer, he made sure there were plenty of other mysteries. And you realize that finding out who killed Laura Palmer was only one part in a much, much bigger mystery. That, again, I don't think would ever actually be answered.
And that, as I said previously, I was always of the mind that it would be solved. It was just going to be solved at the end of the show, because in jumping ahead to the next episode, when Cooper is describing this dream, he says it was 25 years later.
Yeah.
And he has that line. It was always 25. It was 25 years later. So I was always of the mind that we would have this ending to the show that would be, I didn't think it was going to take a literal 25 years, but that it was going to, we would get this time jump during the course of the show where we would see this, older Cooper eventually finding some clue that was going to connect everything together, and he was going to solve it. But unfortunately, as Troy brought up, folks, the network didn't see things that way. And by the network, I mean our old pal Bob Iger, who was running things at ABC back then.
Exactly.
And was the one who was insistent on the mystery being solved.
Yep.
You know what his words were probably about the show? I don't get it.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't get simple, basic business So, I mean, simple, rational, logical rules of economics 101. So,
But yeah, I do remember this episode being, yeah, this is the one that really made people sit up and take notice of the show. And you're kind of off and running from here. This has been fun and games up to this point. And now this is when it really starts cooking from here on in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, we know everybody. We know how to fit in.
And I keep bringing this up.
Yeah.
These characters are so, again, even like we said earlier, these characters that don't have a single line, but you can imply so much story about them. And they have a story without you knowing the details. In a way.
Like the new girl, it's like she probably needed money, and they're like, you can get like, $1,000 a night if you go and do this thing, and she's only doing it because she needs the money, but she doesn't really want to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And one of the issues that I had when it came to season 3 was that, okay, yes, everybody, even the minor characters, have a story, and as Netter just did, she just extrapolated something that I would say makes sense. But when you get to season 3 and you get to some of these other characters, and okay, I'm glad that Richard Chamberlain is here, but why is he here?
Right.
Okay, Charlene Yee, good to see you. Why are you here? Again, yes, they have stories. We don't get to find out what they are. And that was something that, when it came to season 3, at least kind of grated on me a little bit, because I was like, you're kind of wasting these actors on these, you have Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Shogun, Centennial, the Thornbirds, the original OG Bourne Identity folks. And it's like, hi, I'm Bob Simmons. And he's gone.
Yeah.
There's like, okay, but yeah, I think they did that a lot better on the ABC series than they did. I felt everything fit in a little bit more organically than season 3.
I suspect that, again, if you take the different mediums, you realize that the tone is different, and I think that's by design. So, for example, you have an episodic television show, and let's be honest, it is as weird as it is probably the most straightforward of all the iterations. When you get to the movie, it gets really trippy, and even insofar as if you were not watching the TV show, you were kind of lost. Even the people that watch the show were kind of lost. By the time we get to the limited series, they're not treating it like an episodic television show now. They're dealing with it very, very differently. It is treated as a mini series with its own pacing, shall we say, and I feel like again that's by design. Now, what Lynch is trying to do with that, your mileage may vary on that. That's subject to interpretation. I've heard it said that he was trying to homage, pastiche, parody, episodic television of the time, soap operas and things like that when he first did Twin Peaks. When he did the movie, he was trying to homage, parody, pastiche, the typical cinematic noir thrillers and, whodunits. And then when he got to The Return, he was trying to homage, parody, pastiche, the kinds of series you were seeing on cable at that time. Think of things like The Sopranos and things like that. So that's the other thing you got to do, and be also look at the not literal. Look at the what message is he sending that is outside of and beyond the narrative that we're watching, right? Sometimes not only does the medium speak for itself, but it sends a whole completely different and possibly unrelated message. So that's just my take on all of that. Kind of feel like Obnoxious and Anonymous would have a better way of saying that than I just did.
Well, we shall have to have him back at some point.
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely agree.
All right. And as a matter of fact, I think we might have him in the chat. Hi, Cameron. Good to see you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everyone. Black Rose script is done, and so I'll be building the campaign soon.
Cool.
Hey, a shout out. Yeah. No, that was just perfect timing. That's just amazing. I didn't even realize you were here as I was saying that. That's kind of wild. But yeah, your timing couldn't have been better. But yeah, I that's all I got for this week. Again, I do feel like the original series, especially season 1, was about as straightforward as you can get. So there's it's a little bit more maybe I'm just not abstract enough to get across my thoughts on some of this. I do feel like some of this, and I referenced this when I was talking about the dancing to jazz and so forth, is that sometimes it's less about putting things into words, analyzing, having a clear story. Sometimes it's just about the feel, the imagery, right? When Audrey says something about, isn't it just dreamy? Again, back to the dream reference.
But we had the whole thing with Leo and the football.
Yeah, I mean, you still definitely have, the very literal. So this is the thing. Again, going back to the concept of the dream, when you think about your dreams, sometimes the things that really stand out are the weird stuff, and I could go on about my dreams. I've had some really, really weird ones that those things seem perfectly ordinary in context. The episode was one of the last ones to be filmed for season 1. Yeah. That's the other thing that we tend to forget when watching any movie or any TV show, that they're usually not filmed in order. It's actually the outlier when they actually do film things in order. And then that almost since what we're trying to do is put ourselves in the mind of David Lynch, what was he thinking as he was filming this? If this was filmed later but taking place in a certain sequence, what did he already have in place? What was he rethinking? Things like that. It becomes very, very interesting, I think.
But they shot the rest of season 1 after the pilot, so Lynch could make Wild at Heart. Then he came back and he did this one because of the use of Cooper's Dream. Yep.
There you go. Right, and we did kind of touch on did we even mention it that much this episode? We've talked about it before, the whole closed ending of the European film release that left him with footage that he could use in the dream sequence and so forth. So again, you've got to divorce that European film from the so-called canon of the series and realize that what was literal in the ending of the original Twin Peaks movie is very much a dream and not to be taken literally in the narrative of Twin Peaks. So that whole exchange with Mike in the convenience store and everything, although it does eventually play out, we literally see it in Fire Walk with Me, but from Dale's knowledge of it, it wasn't presented to him, in the traditional, hey, have an interview with this guy that sells shoes kind of way.
Cameron says, notice how in this and Blue Velvet, Lynch shows Kyle going to sleep and having a nightmare. By Fire Walk with Me in season 3, we are living inside the dream.
Yep, that's exactly right. Well, and definitely by the return, we're revisiting Jeffrey's comment about we all live inside of a dream. So that would imply that all the characters of Twin Peaks are living within a dream, right? The question then becomes, the new mystery becomes, or the overlaid higher level mystery is, who is the dreamer, right? Now, again, I think it's pretty obvious, when Agent Cole, has the question posed to him and then he turns around and looks into the camera. I think the answer is pretty obvious, right? But that would imply that it's very much a collective dream, right? Which makes perfect sense when you think about the collective unconscious, getting into Jungian archetypes and so forth, which would be very on brand for Lynch and his transcendental meditation and the Zen and all of that kind of stuff. But is that not what Twin Peaks is all these 30 plus years? Is a collective unconscious of all the fans that have watched it over and over and over again and discussed it over and over and over again, coming away with different ideas and thoughts and realities every time, whether it's something they realize themselves or something that someone else says and you go, oh, I never thought of it that way. It just continues to shape that dream world that, like I said, we're all sharing.
That quote about dreams reminded me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
We are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's very apropos when you consider, where he's from, the birds sing a pretty song and there's always music in the air, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's what I got for tonight.
I think this
Andy's
is
gonna
going
have
to
a
play.
concussion.
What's that?
Is that poor
I'm sorry?
Andy's going to have a concussion?
It's not the first
Oh,
time.
Andy.
Remember, later on he's gonna step on that board that's gonna come up and clock him in the head. So
Yeah.
he's very prone to head injuries.
All right. Well, I think that's as good a place as any to wrap it up. We'll go one time around the horn. Boomer, what do you have coming up?
Oh, well, I will be on Last Call this Friday, I believe. Yes. And then next week, I will be tuning in for Geeky Geezers on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it. Oh, and I will be on with you next week during Troy's and Netter's absence. We won't be doing Twin Peaks. We'll be doing an episode of another show. So there we go.
Stay tuned.
Well, we always keep talking about in reference to Twin Peaks, even though it's quite different. But maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Right on. Netter.
Oh, well, right after this, if you stay right here to my channel, or Troy's, or probably deleted, you'll be redirected to Sherlock Holmes, where I'll be co-hosting with Troy. Let's see. Thursday, I don't have a guest, so it's going to be me and Troy to just chat with y'all. Friday, I'll be guesting over on Last Call. Saturday, I'll be guesting over on Big L. I'm guesting everywhere. And, of course, on Sunday, I am the one and only Gazette on Geeky Geezers.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
then, of course, next week, the same. Come back here again and doing this all over again. Oh, actually, no. Next week, Tuesday, I will not, because we will be driving.
Yeah, we will not. We will not.
So we will not be here next week. That's it.
Okay. Troy.
Yeah. So as Netter said, right after this, the next installment of the return of Sherlock Holmes, specifically the Abbey Grange. Thursday, I'll be the one guesting over on Netter's channel for Thursday things, and Friday, as Boomer mentioned, there will be a Last Call. But Boomer, did we ever decide what we're going to be doing for Last Call this Tuesday?
Come to think of it, I don't know if we did. So we'll have to think of something.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
And of course, every weekday at noon Central, 1
Thank you
Eastern,
very much, yes.
you can find Troy over at Liquid Lunch on his channel.
You got to take time off for lunch, so why not spend it with some friends talking about whatever's on your mind? So come on by for Liquid Lunch. Every weekday.
And today, if you missed Liquid Lunch, you need to go back and watch it so you can see his unboxing of a couple of figures that he got.
Yep.
One that he was
one of
waiting
them
over
actually was a gift
for
for Netter. Yeah.
And one he was waiting a year and a half for.
Yep. And then of course late night Sunday night the next part of the Keys of Marinus in Last Call presents Doctor Who.
All right. As for myself, of course, I will be joining Outlaw Bill at on the Thursday afternoon for Action Theater, our second movie in Noir Month, and we will be watching The Big Sleep. Later on that night, of course, right after Thursday Things, will be my program Coming Attractions. We will get to find out what I am going to be up to in the next week, up to including my 2 appearances in a row on Films with Friends. Friday night at 8, I'll be joining Big Al Presents and maybe a few other guests for Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. My favorite of the Friday the 13th sequels. Also, Saturday, where I'm going to be joined by Troy and Nutter as guests as we begin our Evelyn Hampton Memorial Month with the Giant Claw. And then, of course, stay tuned to all of my regular programming and hopefully a review or two if I have the opportunity. All right. Of course, remember, if you stay, you will be automatically redirected back to Troy's channel for tonight's episode of Sherlock Holmes. That's the Abbey Grange, I believe. And yeah. I was going to say something else, but I forgot what it was. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and close the show. Are there any other words before we wrap it up?
Supercilious. That's a word.
Yeah. There you go. All right. All right. So from HQ, the corner of Sparkwood and 21, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.